What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 10 of season 2 for Rebel Roundtable, the first official podcast of Rebel Sports Network here at UNLV. I'm your host, Maile Palacios, here with my co-host, Thomas Gobbo.
Yep, semester is winding down, getting into the later stages. I know I can't wait to be done with this semester, but we're still powering through. And yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
Yes.
Including a special surprise at the end.
Yes, we do. But of course, we have to start off with Nationals, which is Thomas's sports. So, go ahead.
There's a lot that happened over the weekend, specifically in the NHL and the NBA. Both their playoffs started on Saturday. So we're going to see how fast I can get through this. Hurricanes beat the Senators 2-0. All four lines for Carolina are really solid. The Wild shockingly beat the Stars on Saturday. Jason Robertson was the only scorer. And Jake Ottinger got absolutely shelled. 5 goals. Eric with 2 goals. Matt Boldy with 2 goals. And the Russian guy, Kirill Kaprizov, with 3 points. And the Flyers have beat the Penguins. Penguins are back in the playoffs for the first time in a couple of years. Possibly running back one last time with the big three, Crosby, Letang, and Malkin. But they lost 3-2. Now shifting over to the NBA, the Cavs beat the Raptors. Nuggets beat the Wolves. Knicks beat the Hawks. CJ McCollum had 26. Brunson and Cat combined for 53 points. They don't have to worry about Trae Young being on the Hawks, but they did lose last night. But we'll get to that in a second. The Lakers beat the Rockets with the B team. Yeah. Luke Kennard was hooping 27 points. He got traded for Gabe Vincent. That's all I have to say. If you know, you know. And then Sunday, April 19th, back in the NHL, the Canadiens beat the Lightning. Juraj Slavkovsky had a hat trick and the overtime winner to give the Canadiens a 1-0 lead. Then the Sabres, the Buffalo Sabres, first time in 15 years they hosted a playoff game. Came back from 2-0 to beat the Bruins in the third period. Tage Thompson got him on the board with the first one, then tied the game. And then Matthias Samuelsson, 3-2 late. The place was absolutely exploding. Then Alex Tuck, a former Vegas Golden Knight, scored the empty netter, making the final score 4-2. And the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Mammoth. They're down 2-1 in the third period. But, you know, Vegas going to Vegas, scored 3. Mark Stone tied the game at 2. Nick Dowd gave us a 3-2 lead, and then the empty netter from Ivan Barbashev put him away. It was a very intense game, a lot of little scuffles. And then back to the NBA, still Sunday. The Celtics beat the 76ers 123-91. No Embiid is obviously a struggle against a very well-rounded Celtic team. Tatum is back. Tatum is officially back, folks. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. And Jaylen Brown, we know what he does. I feel like he should have been a finalist for MVP, but he had 26 points. And then the Thunder whooped the Suns. Not much else to say. I don't really like the Suns, so... but yeah, there's no chance that anybody's beating the Thunder. They're probably going to go back-to-back, most likely. They're just very complete roster. Play defense, offense, and everything like that. And they're well coached. Mark Daigneault has the guys playing b-ball. Then the Magic beat the Pistons on the road. This was the only team on the road. Only team to win on the road, led by all starters scoring over 15 points. I know Jalen Suggs, was a force defensively. But Cade Cunningham had 39 points. And it was not enough, as the Magic took a 1-0 series lead. Then the Spurs beat the Blazers. Wemby with 35, past Tim Duncan and David Robinson for the most points in a playoff debut. He's 7'4", and he's got handles like a guard and can shoot the three. Hard to stop that guy. They also had 4 starters in double digits, so it's not only Wemby getting it done. The rest of the guys, Steph Castle, Dylan Harper, even though Dylan Harper comes off the bench, De'Aaron Fox, yeah. And then yesterday, Monday, I'm almost out of breath. Flyers beat the Penguins 3-0. We're down 2-0 going back to Philadelphia. Just not good. Not good at all. Stars beat the Wild 4-2. Dallas evens the series after a shocking loss. Game 1. Comeback. Jason Robertson, excellent goal scorer, but One of the young guns on the team, Wyatt Johnston, had 2 goals. And yeah, final score 4-2. Series is tied at 1-1. The Hurricanes beat the Sens in double overtime. Jordan Martinhook won it, and the Canes are up 2-0 against the Senators. And then the Ducks and Oilers, game 1. I don't know why this game was so delayed. Probably the TV schedule or whatever. McDavid and Draisaitl looking for their first cup together after a loss in game 7 against Florida a couple years back. They won 4-3 though. Draisaitl 2 assists, Kasperi Kapanen and Jason Dickinson with 2 goals each with a 1-0 lead. And then finally yesterday, the NBA, Cavs beat the Raptors 115-105. James Harden, Donovan Mitchell hooping. Evan Mobley had 25, so 3 players over 25 plus points for Cleveland. It's very hard to beat a team like that as they are up 2-0. And the Atlanta Hawks come back down from 14. I believe they were down 8 with about 4 minutes left in the game. Came back to beat the Knicks in Madison Square Garden 107-106. CJ McCollum has been hooping for the Hawks. Last night had 32. As there was a controversial ending at the end of the game where the Knicks thought they had a timeout. I don't really know what happened. The TV broadcast said that they had a timeout, but they didn't have a timeout. Nonetheless, series tied at 1-1 going back to Atlanta. Whew!
What a lightning round.
Oh my goodness.
Well, now we're going to give Thomas a little bit of time to breathe because now we're going into UNLV Athletics, who, of course, as always, has a very jam-packed week last week. We are going to start off with UNLV Golf because our men, as we mentioned last week, competed at the Western Intercollegiate in Santa Cruz. And before I get to the results, just a reminder, they were competing against 14 teams, I believe, because it was 15 total, 7 of which were top 50 teams. So we had 39 Washington, 35 SDSU, and 30 USC. And then they were also competing, 7 of the teams were top 50, 4 of which were top 25. We had 24 BYU, 22 Arizona, 18 Stanford, and 13 Pepperdine. 15 teams total, 7 top 50, 4 top 25, and they ended up tying for 3rd after shooting a final round 4 under 346. Seniors Wyatt Platner and Brett Sawaya led the way with their 3 under 67 rounds to bring home the Rebels' 4th top 5 finish of the spring. Junior Mason Snyder carded a 1 under 69 for the second straight day, and he placed 10th with a 4 under 206 through 54 holes. This was his second top 10 finish of the year, and freshman Aaron Von Hauve assisted with an even par 70. So now UNLV has posted 4 top 5 finishes in the spring, and our women will compete. They actually started today, I believe, at the Mountain West Championships in Rancho Mirage, California.
Yeah, congrats to the guys for an excellent tournament. Placing 3rd against all the ranked teams just shows how underrated the golf program is.
Yeah, I agree. But moving on to our tennis, our women competed at home against UNR on the 17th and won 4-0, whereas our men unfortunately lost in Boise 4-0. Switch scores, but it's okay. Now we're going to UNLV track, I feel like Loki takes the longest because our girls are just so good that there's just always something to say, you know? They competed this past weekend at there was 2. So from the 16th to the 18th, there was the Mount Sac Relays at the Brian Clay Invite in Walnut/Azusa, California. And then the 17th and the 18th, there was the Beach Invitational in Long Beach, California. So we're going to go through a couple of the combined scores because Lauren Brown had a big time run in the women's 100, placing 4th. Kenley Gowdy she had a personal best in the women's 800, going for 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Taryn Bailey also had a personal best in the women's 800 with 2:09. And Kenley Gowdy again with the women's 1500 had a personal best. Taryn Bailey also had a personal best in the women's 1500, and she was first in her heat. Then in 5th place at the Beach Invitational, Scott, Brown, Maitland, and Winston all got 5th. Oh my goodness, I can't read. They got 5th in the 4x100 relay. JC Wright had her big time run in the women's 100 hurdles, which is a personal best, and she placed 4th. Caitlin Webb also had a big time run in the women's 400, placing 8th. Micah Scott placed 5th in the women's 100 with her personal best. Kaylee Middleton got 4th in the women's triple jump with her big time jump. Claire Rands with the women's 1500, she had her personal best. And it's looking like we have some birthdays this past weekend. It was Jada Bechet's birthday.
Happy birthday, Jada Bechet.
Moving on to our UNLV softball. I feel like we're blowing past this episode. We're just so excited to get to this surprise at the end of the episode.
Means I got the national stuff done relatively quick.
You did, in fact, get that done really quick. But our UNLV softball, of course, had an amazing weekend. They went 4-0, I believe, 3-0 this past week, and they didn't play during the week. But on Friday the 17th, they competed up in Boise and won 6-5. Both teams were scoreless in the first 2 innings, but Boise got on the board first with 1 run. And then in the 4th inning, Natalie Turner bunted and Kiana Chavez singled to put runners on the corners. Diamond Sefe was walked to load the bases, and Sherelle Aki singled for 2 runs to score. So they got the lead 2-1. And then Presley Barnes homered for a 4-1 lead, and UNLV scored their final 2 runs in the 5th. The Broncos tried to make a comeback with 2 runs in the same inning and then another 2 in the 7th, but our girls held on to get that 6-5 win. They competed again on Saturday, against Boise, and won 10-6, and Montha Hatzenbeller had such a weekend, but we'll get there in a second. Starting off with Bree Williams, she had the bases cleared with a double in the 2nd inning, getting the score 3-0, and then 3 more runs came with Kiana Chavez scoring on a wild pitch and a 2-run homer from Montha Hatzenbeller. The Broncos also had a 3-run homer and a 2-run in the park homer. I don't really
the Parker. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happens, but got the score to 6-5, and then Diamond Sefe with a solo homer in the 5th, and then Montha with another 2-run homer in the 7th. I believe, to get the score 9-5, and then Sherelle Aki also had a homer in the 7th, getting the score to 10-5. Boise scored 1 more, but it wasn't enough because Montha Hatzenbeller went 4 for 4 with 2 2-run homers, 4 RBIs, and 3 runs scored.
Whoever had her in fantasy was doing pretty good.
Scored a lot of points with her.
Yeah.
And then they just kept the win streak going, and they swept Boise on the 19th, winning 9-6, and they also clinched their spot in the Mountain West Championships, which I believe start after the semester's over, right? It's like that first week. The lead was exchanged 3 times before Bree Williams hit a go-ahead 2-run single in the 7th inning. Diamond Sefe went 4 for 5 with a solo homer, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Bree Williams, Kiana Chavez, and Presley Barnes each were 2 for 4 against the Broncos. Chavez had 2 RBIs and a walk. And then Montha Hatzenbeller was 1 for 2 on the day, including 2 walks, an RBI, and she crossed the plate twice. And then Lauren Fedek, who seems to just be a star pitcher for our women, collected the win in relief for her 12th of the season.
Solid hitting, pitching performances all around. Montha Hatzenbeller, what a weekend. 2 2-run home runs on Saturday. And, right, Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah, on Saturday. I don't know. Not much else to say. She did it all herself, so.
Yeah, I feel like I was going to ask you who your stars of the weekend were for softball. But you can't say Montha because clearly she had just such an amazing weekend.
I feel like these names are pretty common. Bree Williams, Kiana Chavez for sure. How about Sherelle Aki? Scored or had a homer Saturday, single to score the game before that. Yeah, they're hooping or balling or swinging.
I would also say Presley Barnes just because I don't think we've said her name yet this season. And then she just showed out.
Got a home run.
This weekend, yeah. Well, a homer, and then she also, where is it? She was 2 for 4 on Sunday as well. But we're going to move over to our men who had a bit of a tough week, but they went 2-2, so not too horrible. They competed at Utah Tech on the 14th and won 8-6. The first 2 innings were quiet, but Gunnar Myra ended up getting a single, a Marcos Rosales double, a Drew Barragan intentional walk, an Aiden Garcia walk, and a Nid Burns II 2-run single that grabbed a 3-0 lead. And then in the fourth, Jack Salmon was walked, I believe, or followed a walk, and then there was an error with a double, so then Marcos and Johnny both hit RBI singles and expanded that lead to 6-0. The Rebels allowed 1 run in the fourth and 4 runs in the sixth off of 5 hits, 2 of which were doubles, but it's okay because then Drew led off the ninth and the bases quickly became loaded, and then Jaden Hurdle had an RBI single, and the biggest fish, Jack Salmon, was hit. And I was looking at the stats yesterday, and he is the most hit person on our team. I think he's been hit 13 times.
Jeez.
Yeah. But it's okay, because him being hit forced in another run in the 8th. And that was actually the final run for the Rebels. Utah Tech grabbed their last run in the bottom of the 9th and made the final score 8-6, where starter Yates Bland grabbed his 4th win of the season, going 3 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 strikeout, no walks, and no runs. So Yates is actually 4-0 this season, which I think statistically makes him our best pitcher. And then Colton Sundloff, Sonny, struck out a season-high 4 batters in 2.2 innings, and Ryan Martone, our Canadian, got his first save of the season.
Yeah, again, I mean, Yates Bland is literally everywhere. Last week he was in relief, this week starting. He's for surely trying to get that ace spot on the Rebels.
Yates is so funny. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say this. But...
All right.
No. So he got a concussion, I don't know, I think it was last semester, it had to have been last semester, surely it wasn't this semester, from riding his scooter.
Dang.
But we went to go take like walk-in pics of them before, the game. And then he wouldn't let me take a picture of him until he got off the scooter because he's not allowed to ride that anymore. Actually, I don't think any of them are, or at least not the pitchers. But it was a little bit silly. Like, we have this 6'7" tall man on this tiny scooter. It's just funny seeing all the athletes on scooters because they're just so large, and then they make these scooters look so tiny. Anyways, continuing on to the 17th. It was the first game of the Washington State series, and it was a bit of a tough loss. It was 13-2. Parker Dilhoff started off on the mound, followed by Reese Lewick, Cody Albright, and Jacob Gomberg. In the second inning, the Cougars grabbed 4 runs on 3 walks, a 2-run double, an RBI single, and a run-scoring fielder's choice. But in the third inning, Jaden Hurdle went up the middle for an RBI single that allowed for Cooper Chef to score. That was one of the 2 runs from that game. Through the 6th inning, the Cougars extended their lead to 8-1, and unfortunately, the Rebels left multiple runners on base, and they kind of fell apart with they did fall apart, with the Cougars leading 13-1 in the 8th. Yeah. The Rebels tried to keep the game going with Nin Burns II getting a double for Drew Barragan to score, but they ended up getting run ruled in the 8th, 13-2. Then they won in the second game they competed against Washington State, which was Saturday the 18th, and they won 12-3. Carson Lane went a full 6 innings, which I believe is his longest of the season, and he struck out 8, followed by Colton Sundloff and Ryan Martone, kind of the same little mix-up we had against Utah Tech. And then...
Seems to be working.
Yeah, it does seem to be working. We got our Canadian and Sonny.
Yeah, but shout out to starter Carson Lane going the full 6, striking out 8.
I think that's definitely his best game that I've seen him pitch.
Yeah.
It had to have been the pregame picks where he had a bag in his hand and then he dropped it and they were like laughing at him because like they were cute picks, and then like Gavin Bowen said just he lost all his aura with dropping the bag. But I didn't get a picture of it, so it doesn't count, right?
Might have been angry. Might have been angry going into the game, going the full 6, striking out 8.
Yeah, maybe. And then they unfortunately fell behind a little bit in the earlier innings, 2-0. But then we had home runs from Cooper Chef, Gavin Taylor, and of course, Marcos Rosales. And that gave UNLV a 3-2 lead. I was standing in the third base well, and I was like, surely not, right? Like, I believe Cooper got the first home run. And I like sprinted to like try and get pictures at home. And then I like walked back. And then it was like 2 batters later, Gavin comes up and he gets a home run. I got to sprint back. And then I walk back. And then Marcos gets a home run, so I have to sprint back. And then the Washington...
stayed over there.
I should have. But, like, maybe it was good luck that I was on the third base side, so... And then the Washington State parents were like, wow, you're getting your laps in, huh? Yeah.
Well, they lost.
Yeah, just a little bit, guys. But it's okay. I'll take the laps if it means that many home runs. And then Gunnar Myro had an RBI double to extend the lead 4-2, and again in the 6th before a Rosales 2-run double, getting the score to 7-2.
Hey, shout out real quick. Shout out Gunnar Myro. I did not know he went to Bishop Gorman. Had no clue he went to Bishop Gorman.
Really?
Yeah, no clue he went to Bishop Gorman. Yeah, shout out for staying local.
Yeah, he's one of, I believe, 2 locals that have stayed, or like, him and Cooper, and maybe Jaden if he starts, are like the 3 returners that'll start the games for us.
Literally found this out last week.
What, after the episode?
No. It was like on Friday or something. And then I doing a little research, and it was like, oh, Gunnar Myro from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Big Gunnar Myro fan. Also, we'll have a post, not us, but UNLV Baseball will have a post coming out. We did that Google form trend, and I don't know if you've seen the UNLV Instagram, like the baseball Instagram, but there's this thing, or they used to do this thing where they would take like pregame meal pics, and they always put a picture of Gunnar, and like Dylan Rogers commented like, oh, I know number 23 never misses a pregame meal. And then we put that on the Google form, and I was talking to Gunnar after one of the games. He was like, I'm winning in that one, aren't I? Yeah. That's a long shot. Anyway, Gavin Taylor and Reggie Bussey extended the lead to 10-2, and the Cougars scored 1 in the 8th. But it doesn't even matter. Marcos Rosales with his 8th home run of the season, and of course winning 12-3. And then the 19th was not just a bit. It was a very interesting game. I don't know if like the pregame picks got them like comfortable with me or something, but they were all like messing around before the game, like taking like funny pics with each other. And then also, I don't know if it was 2 or 3, but there was like Little League All-Star teams that were there. Oh my God. They were yelling in my ear like the entire time. Then I made the mistake of telling them my name, and like every 30 seconds, Miley! Camera lady! Oh, camera lady. Wild. Yeah, unfortunately they lost 9-8, but it was a definitely hard-fought battle. Starting pitcher Josh Donegan went 3.1 innings where he gave up 7 hits on 5 earned runs with no walks and 3 strikeouts. He was then followed by Yates Bland and Jace Evangelista. They fell early in the second with a solo homer, but UNLV responded with an RBI double from Johnny Rodriguez to score Cooper Sheff. Through the 3rd and the 4th inning, the Cougars extended their lead 7-1. And then the Rebels continued just chipping away with a Johnny Rodriguez homer in the 5th and RBI singles from Cooper and Johnny. I feel like I'm just repeating Cooper and Johnny this game. But then Drew hit into an RBI double play. But again, at least 1 run was scored, and that cut the deficit to 7-5. And again, I'm telling you, like, all these kids behind me are yelling, right? And there was one kid who is a catcher, I guess, and he was so excited that, like, Aiden Garcia, like, was a thing, I guess. Like, he was so excited that Aiden was a figure as the catcher, you know? And then I'm talking to the kid, and he's like, oh yeah, Aiden something. I'm like, yeah, like, I know Aiden, that's twin, you know? And then he hits a 2-run homer to tie the game. And he was so excited, and they were like all messing with his bleached blonde hair, and like, it was a cute moment. And then Johnny again with an RBI single to give UNLV its first lead of the day, 8-7. Unfortunately, Washington State tied it with a sac fly, 8-8, and then in the 9th, there was a walk-off homer from the Cougars.
Dang.
Yeah, Jace was not thrilled about that, but unfortunately, like, it was still a good game. They fought back as hard as they could. They got the lead at one point, and they just unfortunately weren't able to hold on. But what's interesting is Drew Barragan has now reached base in all 39 games he has played in this season and has an on-base streak of 40 games, even going back to his time at Western Kentucky. Johnny Rodriguez had his best offensive game of the season with a season-tying 4 hits, going 4 for 5 with his 5th home run of the season and a season-high 4 RBIs. Aiden Garcia now has a 5-game hitting streak as he went 2 for 4 with a home run, single, and a walk. Reggie Bussey, Marcos Rosales, and Gunnar Myro also recorded double-digit efforts.
Yeah, congrats on the Blonde Bombers for I guess solid week. Couple games they're hitting.
Wow, yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, Colton, J-Rod, Aiden, Marcos, Gunnar, Cooper.
Yeah, I might have to do some investigating on that.
Oh, would you like to tell them how we're going to be doing investigating?
You go ahead.
So we will be back in a few short moments. We have a surprise. I finally was able to get some of our cardiac Hustlin Rebels to come on for an episode. And should I say, or should I just let it cut?
We're just gonna let it cut.
Welcome back, everyone, to Rebel Roundtable. I'm Maile and Palacios here with Thomas Gobbo, and we are joined by 2 very special Hustlin Rebels. I've been talking about how much I love these guys all season long, and now we are here with Drew Barragan and Marcos Rosales. Well, first of all, how's your guys' day been?
Good.
Good
Practice.
Lots of lifts and practice.
How was practice?
It was good today. We got some team stuff in, BP, some individual work in our position groups.
Nice.
Okay, so Drew, we're going to start with you really quick. So, in 2021, I believe you had a ulnar collateral ligament torn, correct?
Yes. That was my 2nd year. I've been in college for a while, actually. First season was out. We didn't get to participate in season because of COVID. My next year I tore my UCL, so I ended up having an operation on that. So I really didn't start playing until my 3rd and 4th year at Embry. Mm-hmm. Then I had 2 extra years of eligibility, so I was like, let's see where I can go.
And then at Embry-Riddle, you, in 2023, were CalPAC First Team All-Conference Team, 2024 Northwoods League Rawlings Hitting Award at Shortstop, 2024 CalPAC All-Defense Team NAIA Lou Brock Player of the Year Award finalist, NAIA CalPAC Defensive Player of the Year, and NAIA First Team All-American at Shortstop. And then in 2025, you played at Western Kentucky, and now you're here at UNLV. So are you enjoying your time here? What made you feel that UNLV was the right fit, and how has each stop shaped you?
Honestly, on my visit, I got to get a pretty good feel of the coaches and who they are as people, and what kind of program they wanted to put together. And that's kind of what sold me on it initially. 'Cause obviously, it was a little scary trying to go anywhere. I was in a sling. I had my shoulder operated on after last year, but it felt like a good option. It felt like the right option, so I jumped on it pretty quickly. I actually had my visit over the weekend, and by like Wednesday, I was ready to drive back up for the day, shake coach's hand, let him know this is where I wanted to be. And I've been loving it here. I love being on the field with these guys every day, being in the weight room, getting ready for games. We were talking about it earlier today, like my last year eligibility, like there's, I couldn't imagine another situation I'd want to be in right now. Outside of where I am with these guys, we have a pretty special group, and just trying to take it all in, enjoy it. And as far as shaping me, how each stop has shaped me. At Embry, we were a new program, got to grow up together, so it was pretty fun. We were with the same group of guys, which you don't see too often anymore in college baseball. So that was something special for us, where we got to get after it with each other for multiple years in a row. And that kind of taught me how to play the game at the college level, how to go about my business, because we didn't have facilities at that time. We were doing our own laundry at that time, so it was like everything was on our own. But we were close-knit group, and Northwoods, I can't say enough about Fond du Lac. you kind of just go out there and you play every day, and you just play, have fun every day. There's no school. It's summer vacation, and you're playing baseball. Shout out to my host mom, Michelle. I know she'll be looking for that.
Shout out, Mom.
But yeah, Western was my first exposure to the Division I level. It taught me a lot about who I am and what kind of things I need to get done to be who I want to be. Unfortunately, that season was cut short with my shoulder, but God willing, I was able to get surgery, recover, and ended up in a situation I'm very grateful and feeling very blessed to be in.
Yeah, you talked about, last year at Western Kentucky, you batted .321, and you've been bouncing all over the place with injuries and stuff like that throughout your collegiate career. But this year, your redshirt senior year, you're batting over .400. I mean, what has worked in the approach just from last offseason to now to get you back in the confidence level that you feel can lead these guys?
I think the biggest thing, honestly, is just being healthy and being able to get on the field. I set my priorities to enjoy this year, given that it's my last year eligibility, and try and take it all in and just be where my feet are. And it's helped me out on the field as well. I mean, it's always nice to get consistent ABs when you're healthy. If you're not healthy, it's kind of a tough thing to do. But that being said, I'm not a huge stat guy, so I try not to look into all the stats, because it's just a representation of kind of what you've done in the past outside of like the team stats. Like, I'm a big fan of RBIs because that means you're directly helping the team. But kind of just focusing on the process and letting the process be what the process is, and try not to emotionally attach yourself to the outcome. Kind of helps keep you level-headed.
And you're both from Cali. Marcus, I know that you started out at Cal State Fullerton. Yeah. So what made UNLV feel like the right choice for you?
It was an opportunity that was presented, and I'm grateful I took it. Corey reached out, and it just felt right. I hit the portal, and then Corey reached out. A couple other schools reached out, but I felt the love from Corey, so.
I know you just said that you're not like a huge stat guy, but it's kind of hard to ignore the stats because you're 50th in on-base percentage with .496, 34th in slugging, .720, tied for 17th in total bases, 113, 14th in batting average, .408, 11th in runs per game, 10th in runs, 9th in hits per game, 8th in hits, 4th in triples, tied for second in triples. Marcos, you're tied for 11th in doubles, tied for 28th in doubles per game, 7th in runs, and 10th in runs per game. So, like, it's very hard to ignore it. So, what coming into this
He's
season,
mad at you right now.
but, like, what made you guys, like, what moment in the season did you feel like, oh, this is going to be, like, a special season for you guys?
We just wanted to win. And I think playing for the right reasons has helped all of our games because, I mean, if you look at it as a team offense, we just saw we're like a top 10 offense in the country, like as a whole. And I think that just goes into us playing for each other.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree. It's pretty fun getting to walk up to the plate after Marcos just hit in front of you. A large percentage of the time, he either scored a run himself or set the table for the guys behind him. So it kind of just reaffirms that message, continue, get the next guy up. I mean, we've got a lineup full of guys that can hit, and we got guys that are coming in and out of the lineup that can hit. We don't have enough spots on the field for the amount of talent we have offensively, which is tough to see sometimes, but it's exciting to see as well because whoever's got the bat in their hands that day, whoever's in that box in that big moment, like there's not a point in time where we're concerned about the outcome of the game because we always feel like we're in it.
And also, those stats that I read out were like NCAA D1, like the entirety. So how do you guys handle that pressure? Knowing that these pitchers know that you guys are like some of the best hitters not just on the team, not just on the conference, like in the country. How does that, like, what's your guys' mindset going up to the plate?
Well, I'm very comfortable because I got him hitting behind me. I think you just approach every at-bat, it's you versus the pitcher. I think that's a mindset we both share. I think if you get caught up in what they're thinking about you, it affects a lot of your own mindset, and you can really only control what you can.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, one thing he's really good at is he takes at-bats one pitch at a time, no matter the count. He's very, very rarely, I don't know if I've ever seen it, talks himself into swinging. He knows what pitch he wants, and it's easy to get on board with the team offense when guys are playing the game the right way. And it's just, I think it's more so of a reflection of the conversations we have with Corey, the conversations we have amongst ourselves, with Rush, anybody who chimes in from our coaching staff on the offensive side. You kind of just have to get up there, know what you're capable of, and do what you do, regardless of the outcome. Like I was saying earlier, try to detach yourself emotionally. It puts you in a good spot to get up there, clear-headed, and get your pitch and go.
Yeah, Marcos, I just have to ask, because there's buzz around campus that you guys are the blonde bombers. What is the idea behind dyeing your hair blonde?
It was just kind of a buy-in thing.
Yeah.
Just do something to bring the guys closer. Ended up kind of just, if you want to do it, do it. But I don't know, it's kind of like a little joke, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Who started it?
J-Rod. Because we were talking about it, and then he just comes home one day and I see him and he's asking me how his hair looks. Bright blonde.
You're like, ooh, I gotta try that out.
I slept on it for a couple of days.
Well, yeah, because I noticed that Johnny was like first, and then like a couple days later I saw you and I was like, oh. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't notice how many of you guys had actually done it.
There's a couple of us.
Yeah, until like Will Lewin, I'm sure you guys know Will, he worked with you guys last year, but he was gonna do like a story on you guys, and then we just couldn't figure out like how many of you guys actually had dyed your hair. Drew, what about you?
Yeah, Drew, are you next?
Yeah, I'm kind of in a dilemma right now. My mom explicitly told me she would not be very happy with me.
I don't blame you.
I want to be there for my boys, but it's also one of the early life lessons I learned was not to piss off your mother.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm gonna go facial hair, or if one day I'm just gonna wake up and be like, you know what, let's get it done. But I'm gonna get creative with it. We'll find something.
Well, it's interesting that you brought up your mom, because I feel like after every game I always see you going. You always have like so much family there to support you. I mean, you're from California, but you have so much support here. How does that feel just to see every game?
It's pretty awesome. I'm very grateful for my family. Very blessed to be born into the family I was born into, and I have an older brother, older sister, who are also very supportive of my dreams and kind of just the career path that I'm trying to work towards. But it's nice. My dad, growing up, I could probably count on, outside of last year, because I was in Bowling Green, Kentucky, a little bit farther from home than here, but he's still trying to make it out there. But if we remove that year, I could probably count on my two hands how many times he's missed a game. My dad's always loved baseball, gave me that love for baseball, and it's nice to have him in the stands.
And Marcus, I know you also have a love for baseball because you have a little fielding company going on back home, right? How did that start up? And like, can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, one of my buddies' little brother, he his dad reached out to me asking to work with him. I do field-in lessons, and kind of just started with him, and then it took off. I just started. I work with a lot of kids in my area. I probably work with 50+ kids, and it's something I enjoy. I get to give back to the kids, and I mean, I learn more teaching them. I learn more about the game myself.
And you also lead the pregame like prayer and huddle, right?
Yeah.
How did you get into that spot? Because I've noticed it the past couple times that I've been out there. It's always you.
Yeah. Well, I've gotten really deep in my relationship with Jesus these last couple of months, but I think a prayer is something we've always kind of done, yeah?
I don't know if we did it last year, but I remember.
I think a lot of teams kind of do a little prayer circle before, but I just ended up being the one leading it. I enjoy doing it, but it's cool because our circle's getting bigger. We see more guys coming into the prayer every time, and it's really fulfilling to see. So it's awesome.
Yeah, we even got coach in there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Go ahead.
So speaking of leadership, you both came in as transfers. So what was that journey like? Did you guys know that you were going to be leaders, or did you guys kind of just somehow fall into that position and like ease your way in with the rest of the team?
That was actually something the coaching staff had talked to me about on my visit, and I mean, it's always a little weird coming in to a new school and, you know, trying to rally a group of guys, especially when there's guys that have been here before. So they kind of know how the program works, and I wouldn't say I'm a very vocal leader, and I quite honestly didn't think that was going to be a position that my name was going to be thrown up for. But I just try to do things the right way, and I think it's more so the guys that think the same are the guys that tend to group together. I don't necessarily view myself as a leader of this team, more so than just a part of a group of guys that love to do things the right way.
But Drew leads. I would say he's actually pretty vocal with his energy, because he's the most positive teammate I've been around probably in my whole career, and that's something that it just wears off on people. You have negative energy, it's going to wear off on people, and he's very positive. And I think when you come into a new program or a new team or new anything in life, it's very hard to just come in and want to lead, even if you have those characteristics. You don't want to rub people the wrong way. So I think in the fall, especially with a lot of new guys, you kind of just want to feel your way out, and then, you know, after that fall, everyone kind of knows who everybody is, and then you find your place as a leader.
I've also noticed that because I was at the fall ball, like USC, the doubleheader, and like it just seems like you guys have gotten so much more like connected, and obviously that chemistry has grown. I know you're roommates with Nin, right?
Yeah.
And you came like with Aiden and Johnny, basically.
Yeah.
So like, how else has that chemistry built between the whole team?
I mean, we like to do a lot of things together. We'll eat together. We see each other every day, you know. But I mean, as far as position players, we all live together. Pitchers live together. We practice together every day. And as far as chemistry, like there's not a single guy on this team, if they were to ask another, if they want to like, hey, let's go get food or let's go do something, like a lot of the times the answer would be yes. I think we're pretty well connected. We're an older team, so we're able to kind of bypass some of the growing pains it takes to get there, just because we've all been there and done that with other teams, or whether or not they were other UNLV teams or other teams at other schools. But we were pretty close from the start. It was an environment where it's easy to show up and kind of be yourself.
And connecting as a team, the best way to do it is off the field. That's where you make real memories, where you come to the field, you can talk about what you did, and that's why I feel that we've gotten pretty close.
Yeah, I guess for the both of you guys, what is the most important thing that you guys learned being at UNLV?
I'd say just to appreciate every day out here. My first 2 years at Fullerton, dealt with some injuries, not being on the field the whole time, and my goal this year was to just appreciate every moment and play for the love of the game.
Mine's very similar. I like to journal before every game, and the one thing I make sure I write in there to remind myself is just prioritize gratitude. What happens in the game is going to happen in the game, One thing we talk about all the time, like it's already written, good or bad. So getting out and prioritizing gratitude and reminding yourself that you're a follower of Christ before you are a baseball player. Your son, your brother, kind of puts everything into perspective and kind of removes the stressors that baseball can bring into your life. And if you got your mind right and your priorities straight, it helps you get out on the field and enjoy it and enjoy your time there, because it comes to an end for everybody at a certain point. So the earlier you can understand that, the longer you can enjoy it.
Marcos, you were Mountain West Player of the Week around March 30th, and then you just got announced as D1 Baseball's second team and the Barragan National Collegiate Slugger Award watch list for mid-season. So how are you guys looking to work the rest of this season out and make sure that those achievements do come into play?
Sticking to our same mindset, people talk about not panicking or not having pressure for making the tournament or how the season ends. But I think we love it as a team that there is pressure and we got to go. And so the focus is winning. It's winning this weekend, winning Friday, and if you watch our games when we're playing for something, we play better when something's on the line. So winning.
I mean, if you watch him especially, the look in his eye changes.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
It's pretty electric. But yeah, kind of sticking with the process. Exactly what you said, understanding that regardless of the awards or the recognition, I mean, we're always grateful and blessed to see those things and to be nominated for things. But at the end of the day, none of it really matters if we don't make it matter. The priority is getting out there, winning baseball games, getting to the tournament, and or putting ourselves in the best position to win the tournament and continue our season and continue to move forward. And I think we can speak for everybody on our team that is the priority right now, is to go. It's time to go.
Mm-hmm. And I guess how was it, earlier in the season you guys played in the minor league ballpark. How was that experience for both of you guys?
Where at?
Las Vegas ballpark.
Oh, that was sweet.
I mean, someone hit a grand slam during that game.
Yeah. No.
Also turned it over play. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh yeah,
That's a fun watch.
Yeah, we're gonna put that in there.
Yeah.
Actually.
The atmosphere and the light system, the sound, against Arizona State, those are the cool games. That was cool.
Yeah, the quality of lights they had, you could see every stitch on the baseball.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And then pregame, we were laying down on the grass because, as a baseball player, especially as infielders, you love nice grass. So it's pretty amazing to have that opportunity to be able to get out there and compete with our guys.
I have one question. Your wrist,
Yep.
the bracelet,
Mm-hmm.
and the tattoo. Is there a tattoo?
Yeah,
I feel
there's
like
a tattoo.
yeah, I was editing a picture and I was like, don't suck. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
So I had shouted out Michelle Buck earlier. She is the host family coordinator and also my host mom. Her and Wayne, very graciously let me live in their house for the summer. And I love my time out there. And she made these bracelets, I think, my first year out there. And the story behind it was every time we'd leave for a game, even home games, because they obviously came later, we headed over there for BPIO, and she would tell us, don't suck. And I think it was Needs, who he's a pitcher at UMass, he's left-handed pitcher at UMass right now, gave her the idea to put them on bracelets. So like a week later, she has 500 of these blue bracelets and was handing them out to all the players. And this past summer I was supposed to go out there and play, and I ended up opting to get my shoulder repaired surgically. So I went out there to visit, and she's like, we should go get those tattoos, because we'd been talking about getting Don't Suck tattoos for like a year since the last summer I'd been out there. It's like, oh yeah, like hopefully there's a shop open, you know? And she goes, no, I already booked our appointments, they're for Monday. So we went in the next day and got them tattooed, but it's more so, I mean, obviously, blatantly it just says don't suck, like, you know, go out there and don't suck today. But it's kind of another family and another home away from home that she's created. I mean, there's players, college players all across the country wearing them. There's guys in pro ball wearing them. But yeah, it's just a kind of little token that I get to appreciate, and a lot of other baseball players get to appreciate to how special Foundy Ball is. Nice.
Make sure I'm recording. Cool. I guess, what is your guys' favorite baseball team?
Oh gosh.
What's my answer to this all the time? I'm Mexican. So Dodgers.
Okay.
Dodgers.
I was like, wait, you can't speak for all of us, and then, but we're good. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm an Angels fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Mexican.
It's tough. But I'm half Mexican, so I'm a postseason Dodgers fan.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Angels haven't been there in a long time.
Postseason?
Just postseason. I mean, if they're on and they're not playing the Angels, big fan of them. But if they're playing the Angels, I mean, last year that was our World Series.
Right.
Yeah.
The sweep, right?
Yeah, we took them down. That was our World Series.
Do you have a secondary team? No,
Just-
loyal. Dang.
Dodgers all the way.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well then, if you had to face any MLB pitcher currently, no, actually dead or alive, who would you guys go against?
My goodness.
I think I put this on my my player card thing. It was Tim Lincecum. He played on the Giants.
Yeah.
He had crazy delivery.
Put on the Angels for a little bit too, but
Yeah.
he was past his prime, well past his prime. Kind of the Angels MO. But I think my answer on the card was Nolan Ryan. My dad used to tell me stories about him. There's that iconic picture with the blood all over his jersey after the brawl.
Straight gas.
Yeah.
Straight gas.
And
Do you want me to get that?
Oh, okay.
it'd be a fun AB.
Yeah.
He'd be throwing fuzzballs, but
Yeah.
it'd be cool to see.
What's a modern day pitcher you guys would love to face or think it'd be a good at bat or matchup?
You gotta go Mason Miller now.
Yeah, Mason
Mason
Miller,
Miller,
Paul
yeah.
Skeens.
Paul Skeens.
Actually, Paul Skeens. Yeah.
Paul
That would be a fun at bat. It would be cool to see him do what he does on a mound.
Yeah, for me, I'm a
See what he
Pirates
does.
fan, so I mean, that's the only thing we got going for us right now. But
Yeah, Bubba Chandler.
Well, yeah. Paul Skeens, I don't know. He's out of this world. So, but yeah, I definitely agree with that answer.
Okay, and then now you guys, I think that the team actually has like pretty good walk-up songs all around. Okay, I love both of your guys' walk-up songs, but if you had to change it right now, where are you going?
Probably going house. Oh, you know what? Let me think of it. Go.
You know, I actually have a whole playlist for this. So we're gonna reference the Apple Music.
Show Me Love.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's see.
Oh, so we're actually linking both of their playlists after this, guys.
Robin S.
Did you just have that open, like?
I was listening to it earlier. Yeah.
Oh, Drew's stressed. Where's he going?
This is a long playlist. Because I've got, different genres. I like the smooth kind by Larry June. I almost did Backstage Pass, Smino. Be a tough one. See, all my friends and teammates that know me pretty well know I start thinking about walk-up songs like 3 months before the season starts, hence why I have this playlist. So I don't know if I'd be able to answer that right now. I'd probably need a couple weeks.
You need about 3 months.
Yeah, about 3 months, give or take.
And I guess, what is your guys' pregame ritual? I know everybody has one. Every baseball player has one. So what is your guys'?
Superstitious about it?
Conor McGregor said this, and I've lived by it. I think superstitions are just a form of fear. And my routine, I wouldn't say ritual, but routine is just being in prayer and just reading my Bible.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the word routine as well. I will get up, go get breakfast, come to the field like most guys do. But before we play, I'll put my headphones on, I'll journal, express my gratitude. I'll pray. And I really like Peach Monsters.
Peach Monsters.
Peach Monster Zero.
He loves them.
My Uncle Sam.
I agree.
Yeah. Shout out to my Uncle Sam. But I will drink one of those a game. I usually don't get through the entire thing. I kind of just go take a sip when I feel like I need it. But my favorite one this year has been the mineral salts with Marcos. Fish will get in there too. Hooky will get in there. He's actually the one that put us on. Johnny gets in there sometimes. Gunnar gets in there sometimes.
Some of the pitchers now.
Yeah. Big fan of the mineral salts.
I know I had one more, but my card fell. Oh, okay. You guys can't say each other, but if you had to say a player on the team that people need to watch out for, who would you say?
Joe Barragan.
Marcos Rosales.
The one rule I said you didn't follow. Okay, aside from you guys.
In what context?
Do you have a brother? like obviously you guys are at the top of the leaderboard, but like of course everyone on the team contributes. Who would you say?
As hitters, we all just bang.
Whoever's got the bat or the ball in their hands.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. Okay, I think this is my last one. There was so many children at the game on Sunday. You saw me get rejected. That was fun. So you guys are obviously like role models for these kids. I was getting chirped at the entire game because they were like, "Oh my God, I loved you! Oh my God, Marcos! Oh my gosh, Aiden!" Like, but how does that feel knowing that you guys are being looked up to in such a noticeable, memorable way?
I think it's something that helps shape your character. We're going to fail most of the time on the field, and I learned this at Fullerton. Our coach was adamant about whether we won or lost, go be respectful to those kids, put on your happy face, fake it, because that's the next generation, and we were once in their shoes. And I remember being at games as a youngster at Fullerton, looking up to those people. So I think it's something to help keep us grounded, even if we're failing. Like, you got people looking up to you, and you can impact someone in a drastic way, depending on how you carry yourself.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, when I was a kid, there wasn't an Angels game. We were at UCI, Fullerton. We went down to SDSU a couple times. And I remember as a kid, like, looking at these guys, like, oh my gosh, these guys are huge. They're on top of the world.
Yeah.
And then being in those same shoes now as those players were when I was a kid, it doesn't feel like I imagined it would feel as a kid. Because we're out here. we're all still kids playing a kid's game. We're all kids at heart and just enjoying what we do and just being grateful to be out here and seeing kids do the same things that we were doing when we were kids. It just puts a smile on your face, because it's the purest form of love for a sport is when you were a kid. Coaches say all the time, go out and play for the other kid or go play for your younger self. They don't know anything about spin rate or vert, high ride fastballs or sinkers, cutters. They're just out there with the bat, swinging and with the glove, fielding around balls, catching pop flies, throwing the ball around. They're just having fun. So it's 100% agree with what he's saying. It's very important to make sure that they feel welcome and that you help nurture the love of the game.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on Rebel Roundtable. I'm not sure if I said that earlier, but this has been Barragan and Marcos Rosales. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we wish you guys luck on the rest of the season. This weekend, of course, with the pack of puppies up north, but but good luck, you guys, and thank you guys so much for
Thank you.
on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
See you guys back in the studio. Thank you so much to Drew Barragan and Marcos Rosales for coming on this episode of Rebel Roundtable. I have felt so maternal towards these guys this entire season, and it was so fun just to be able to talk to them normally and not just as photographer girl that's at every home game, you know?
You get to get inside of their minds.
Yes.
Both these guys are both leading the team in home runs with 8, so kind of see how their hitting process go and just... They're just regular guys, regular college students, kind of like us.
Guys, yeah. As we mentioned, Drew Barragan is a redshirt senior, so he most likely will not be back next year. Marcos Rosales is a junior, so we shall see what happens next season. But that is all that we have for this week. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 10 of season 2 of Rebel Roundtable. I have been your host, Maile Palacios, here with my co-host, Thomas Gobbo.
Yep, we will see y'all later. Catch the NFL draft Thursday. Ricky Lust and I will be there back in the Berg. So, yeah, hope to see us on TV. Deuces.
Peace.